Hello camcorder vlog. I am running late for work. I've been having some thoughts today because I'm running like super late for work, like over an hour, like an hour and 30 minutes. I don't know, I feel like responsibility, I feel like it doesn't really bring me much. Like I know so many people who are irresponsible in the grand scheme of like life and like the way that you're supposed to do things. Everything works out for them so well and they're so happy and they're living their life without these constant responsibilities. I have such a big thing about being like challenging your comforts, I guess, and I think my responsibilities to like work and like feeling like I need to keep a savings and all this stuff has kind of been messing with that, my ability to live in the way I want to live. Genuinely, I think for like, obviously not everybody, but I think for a lot of people that somehow just being irresponsible and doing the smallest things that you need to do the things that you actually want to do, not do things that will secure you later on, it just works out really well for them. I feel like I don't do a ton. I'm not a super responsible adult in the grand scheme of like college and like doing everything the right way and all that stuff. You know, I don't even work a ton. If we're being honest, time is the most valuable thing that we have, and it goes by a lot faster than you think it does, especially when you get into like your mid-20 kind of ages, because I'm 24 and I feel like I was like 20 not even that long ago, and this is obviously the best time to be traveling and doing irresponsible things. So yeah, I don't know, I'm gonna go to work. I will talk to you guys later. I am getting ready for work right now. Thinking a lot lately. These are thoughts I've had pretty much my entire life about the way we live our lives and the way that we sell our time, the way that everybody is so unfulfilled in life, and how it just all feels so wrong, the way that we're so controlled in this society. Cleaning my nose piercing. All throughout my life I've had thoughts like this. Often I find myself trying to forget about them for, you know, the sake of, I don't even know actually, like fitting into society without becoming overly negative and discouraged, I guess. I just try and forget about it. I think about other people's day-to-day life. Like my day-to-day life is not entirely fulfilling, like at all. You know, because I have this idea of looking at my paychecks, I guess, you know, what I spend most of my time doing, selling my time. Like I look at my money as time that I've sold, and you know, I try my best to save that money and make it worth it, which at the end of the day, even that, I'm like, do I really even need all of that? I mean, I'm sure it'll come back eventually, but your younger years are your most valuable years. These are the years that are worth the most, and not even in a financial way, just in a life sense, I guess. But I think about other people's lives, other people who don't view things this way, because I was introduced to these ideas very young because of where I was on the internet, how I was raised, you know, my parents' ideology. I feel like I had an advantage to this philosophy, but we live in such a consumer-driven culture, and you know, everybody talks about how time feels like there's less of it, like it's faster, and I don't know if it's one of those things where time really is speeding up and it's being like hidden from us, you know? Like they obviously wouldn't want to tell people that. People would start freaking out and they would start to wake up from this little construct bubble where we're giving all of our time to these billionaire, millionaire companies. But yeah, I think about other people's lives, people who don't view things this way. We have constant manipulation 24/7 telling us to spend our money in these reckless ways, spending our time in these reckless ways. I just think about my day-to-day life, and if I didn't know those things, I would just feel like all of this is such a waste of time. Like what am I doing in this life what's the point? Like genuinely, like what's the actual point? Like is the point like to build like this fictitious idea of solidarity, of safety? I feel like I have no idea how to put what I'm thinking in words right now. Like we're raised in school, I guess, with this idea of what our life's supposed to look like, what success looks like, in the US especially, in a capitalistic society. Does anybody really care about that? Is that really fulfilling for anybody? Genuinely, what the fuck are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? We live in this universe that is still so unexplained. Spiritual landscape we still don't understand. Or it is so obvious that we play a big picture in it. At least in my eyes, humans are somewhat important to this world. And why aren't we spending our time figuring that out? living in that, basking in that, you know? Why aren't we going out in nature more? Why are we spending so much of our time to get this currency that we really don't need? Like, do you really need that thing off Amazon? Do you really need that new shirt? It's fine if you do, but it's like, wouldn't you rather spending time with your family, with your kids, you know, doing that artistic endeavor that you've been putting off since you were like in high school, not ignoring those divine urges to do something, whatever that something is. I hate to say this because I hate how this word has been used over the years, but the Matrix labyrinth, I guess, is a better, I like that more, labyrinth of this world that we live in. I get lost in it sometimes due to the programming and stuff we've been through. It takes a lot of courage to break out of it and just be like, screw that, like, I'm gonna be happy. You know, it feels like a gigantic risk, even when I go on like these trips and calling out of work one day, not because I'm sick, but just because what the fuck's the point, feels scary. It feels like you're doing something wrong, and it shouldn't feel like that. You know, humans are, I think, more simple than people realize, and I'm tired of watching myself and everybody else in my life spend their most precious currency on something that doesn't feel good. And obviously I think this is different for everybody. I think money goes longer ways for certain people, like if you do have a family, if you do have kids. We have no community nowadays. Going off grid is a lot more difficult. Living in that way is a lot more difficult than it would have been years in the past because nobody else is doing it anymore. And see, when I enter these states of thinking, I'm like, even now I'm like checking the time, like how much time of mine do I have left? Requesting time off to a job. That sounds ridiculous. I'm free today. That's my biggest one. I always like to say, I'm free today. When are you free? Automatically implies that you are some kind of slave to some kind of system. You belong to an entity that is not you. Freedom is not owned entirely by you. And I think language is a much bigger thing than people realize. I think the languages that we speak every day are a lot more intentionally thought out than people realize, like the whole Black Law dictionary or whatever. And when you speak those things out loud, it constantly reinforces it. Like, that's scary to me. That I have to go to work and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, actually, what the fuck am I doing? Okay, so I just got off my shift and I literally still cannot get this off my mind. I had such a bad shift too. I literally just got home, like just sat down and turned this camera on. I cannot stop thinking, what the fuck are we doing? Why am I slaving away, not allowed to sit down for like 7 hours, giving people food, literally working in like 80-degree weather because there's no AC. I'm not just work ranting, like there's a point, but it's like all of us watch people suffer doing things that we don't have to do. Things that we really don't have to do. And I know it seems in a lot of scenarios that you do have to be doing it, but if we were a more community-based, empathetic, if we were not such a cold society, I feel like things would be different. If people realized the free will that they had and they were empathetic, caring people again, that were connecting with the human experience, things would just be so different. I feel like we're all just stuck in this cycle of this facade that we're living in where we have to suffer to survive. Maybe this is just an American thing. I don't know. I can't keep living like this. I don't know how anybody could keep living like this. You're supposed to live like this until you turn like 65? If you're lucky in today's economy, and retire. Like when your body's given out, that's when you're supposed to enjoy life. What we are doing, what all of us are doing right now, makes no sense to me. Even that free time we're just spending consuming and giving more of ourselves away to whatever construct this is, whoever created this construct. We're just constantly giving ourselves for free half the time. Half the time you're not even getting money in selling your time like you do at work. The other half the time you're doing it for free. Because I have had such a disconnect with posting on YouTube lately, like these video diaries. There's no sustenance to it. I'm not adding anything to any conversation. I'm not adding anything to the world. When I'm not traveling, my life is not that interesting. So I feel like all I really have to offer, which I haven't really been giving, is my thoughts and my brain and my view on things and the knowledge that I've learned over time. I have had such a strong pull to talk about this frustration I have in my life. I might as well share it online because I know I'm definitely not the only person who feels this way. I see things I see people talking about things like this all the time, and I feel like everybody that I've ever met, everybody that I've ever talked to about these sort of things, I think there's a degree in everybody that exists where they think about these things and they recognize them, and then they just decide that there's nothing they can do about it. But if we all feel the same way, we should be doing something about it, and eventually get to a point where everybody's life belongs to them. What the fuck are we doing? I don't know how many times I can say it. What the fuck are we doing? I think I just wanted to, I got dressed and stuff out of my work clothes. I want to leave this video off because I don't feel right just putting this in a vlog. The whole kind of idea of what are we doing this for is kind of like what changed my life when I was younger and kind of opened my brain up to ideas of other ways of living, I guess. I just wanted to leave it off with, is what you're selling your life for worth it? I forgot to say this, but leave a like as well. That helps the algorithm, so do that.